Welcome back here, 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez, and the first game is over. CEP losing to Moscow Red Legion. Next up, Sacramento XSV taking on Seattle Thunder. We're here at OXCC Paintball Park in beautiful Chesapeake City, Maryland. The weather is nice, the grass is green, and it's not 30 degrees like it was in Dallas, Todd.
Yeah, much more comfortable up here. Yeah, I got my shorts and my T-shirt on. Oh, wait, I had that in Dallas.
And a trash bag.
And a trash bag. It was freezing.
Yeah, so got about 5 minutes or so to go here before the start. Again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting paintball at its highest level. We're trying to push the sport forward here and doing all we can. We need your support. So continue to spread the gospel for us. And I really do. You hear me say that all the time, but to me, that's really what it is. Paintball, you know, I had an awesome conversation with Dan Wake yesterday. Zach Wake, the MVP of the finals, such an intelligent guy, and we were just talking about how much the game has given to himself, not only as a coach, but for his son to really grow him and mature him as a man in a way shorter amount of time than that would take in the real world. You know, it's just a giant test out there, and you can't have a harder test despite what division you're in. I mean, there's 181 teams here. And Todd, we started to get into it a little bit in that last game. How hard is it going to be to win D3 here? There's like 60 D3 teams here.
Yeah.
You're going to have a weekend, man. But we will see the Division 3, Division 4, 2, and 1, all on Sunday, the best teams in those divisions. And, you know, quite the international flair here to the Champs and Challengers divisions as Art Chaos awaits to play Dynasty here after this matchup. And, you know, we just saw Moscow Red Legion play. There's a bunch of, you know, Red Storm is another Russian team. You know what's a really big hotbed of paintball talent and just really doing amazing is Texas. Texas is really kind of becoming, you know, we always say California is the mecca of paintball. And, yeah, California is still real strong, of course. But Texas is kind of emerging as a huge hotbed of paintball talent. They got a lot of affiliate leagues down there. They got some, you know, awesome paintball patrons down there running good fields, good stores. And
tournament series.
Yeah,
you know,
tournament series.
Our companion up here, Steve Rabikoff, running that AXBL series. I mean, that's one of the biggest X-Ball series around, and they're getting 70, 80 teams out there for the AXBL series.
Which is crazy for a regional event.
Yeah, and, you know, the WCPPL out in California, I was out there for the first one, and I think there was 70 teams out there at that event. So,
yeah,
you know, it's cool to see people coming out, enjoying the format, playing competitively, you know, getting more and more teams and, you know, sticking with it and coming out here to the national events to fight the fight. So,
yeah, it's good to see, man. And, you know, the roster at games today just chock full of exciting matchups and, you know, lots of stories. You know, again, we're always talking about that because it's very true. You know, these guys really devote so much time and energy to being the best. And, you know, how good is Shock? How good is Chicago Aftershock going to play at this event? They really earned a lot of respect, though they did not win a lot of games at the last event, gave some really hard teams tough games, and now had a little bit more time to practice. So, you know, how well they can do is Todd's team, the Bortles team, Omaha Vicious, taking second best they've ever done in their professional careers. How well are they going to do at this event? You know, they got some tough, you know, tough games. But that's the thing about the way that this works now. There's nothing but tough games.
Yeah, it is exciting. You know, the challenge is there. The challenge is way harder. I mean, now it's only top 4 teams make it to it's go straight to semifinals. So every single game matters. And then you can come out here, every team, like last event, you know, we go 2-2 in the prelims, but because all the games were so tight, we're able to make it in. And it's like, you know, there's no slouch teams. There's no bad games. Like, every single player on each roster is a sick pro player.
Yeah. Well, and also I thought it was interesting too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you guys make it in because you beat the Ironman head to head?
Yes.
And you guys got curb stomped by the Ironman in the 2 practices that you played against them.
Yep.
So that's what's possible with some hard work and some determination and guys just not wanting to lose. You know, the core of Vicious right now is such an amazing story. Zach Sherman, Parker Rosenthal, Trevor Reeser, you know, guys like that, just, and the rookie Alexander Borromeo for you guys. I mean, he's not a, you know, rookie. He's played on some other teams before, but, you know, this is his big shot, and he made the most of it. Came out and played great for you guys.
Yep.
And I was actually looking at maybe picking him on my fantasy team because he plays the D side. I know he's your one over there, and he's going to be your starter. And but he was expensive, man.
Really?
Yeah, he was like $5 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to be Alex.
Yeah, Marcelo was $5 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but that's because he put up some really solid numbers.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, head to Paintball Access, go to our stats page and, you know, check out the Top Gun leaders right now. And then, you know, world champs San Antonio X Factor are going to play, talking about Texas and hotbed of paintball, man. San Antonio X Factor, such an amazing story there. Check out Planet Eclipse, the roster. You can see the whole season of the roster and the story of how X Factor was able to become world champions. The team you're looking at on your screen right now, Sacramento XSV, they were also world champions at one point years ago, but it's been a rough road for them as Big Rich Telford just really doing all he can to rebuild his team. And, you know, I love Rich Telford. He's a very good friend of mine. He's a huge warrior in the fight, man. He's really, really awesome guy and really worked hard to try to rebuild this team. And they have some talent on the team, so let's see if they can get it done here against Seattle Thunder. And then also on the flip side, Thunder, they're on the left-hand side of your screen, XSV on your right, and Thunder, you know, that's basically Corey Field's team, and Corey Field was on the most legendary team ever from the Pacific Northwest, the Naughty Dogs. But Corey Field, such a love for the game and a love for working with young guys and really trying to get them to improve their skills, and that's what Thunder has tried to do here and see if they can display some of that now and try to put some points on the board here against Sacramento XSV. Sacramento XSV doubling up that tower. You can see there as the referee jumping up, trying to get a look at Big Rich Telford's head. You know, Rich is running about 6'2". But, you know, Rich has been playing this game at the highest level since about 1997, maybe 96. So a long time in the game. Now you're looking at Thunder on your screen.
And still about as young as Chris Lasoya, who could not make it out here to this event, but told me to tell everybody hi. We have XSV, man, just locked in right now. All 5 guns up, all 5 bodies alive on both sides as Seattle Thunder finally makes the move up into Dorito 2 from that Dorito 1. Thunder went up into the middle into that can on the Dorito side right away. Unable to get anything out of it, but locking off the Dorito side of the field. Riley Sullivan over there in the Dorito 1 for Sacramento XSV. Johnny Greer, you take a look on the Seattle Thunder side of the field, looking to make that move. Coming out. Oh, it's finally Junior Brown takes one in the goggles. The first body to drop comes from Sacramento XSV's side of the field.
You know, Todd, we have seen now doubling up that temple. That tall temple is it's kind of a risky move. We've seen a lot of guys double up that now in the first game and getting shot doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it can get tight in there or you can shoot tons of bodies on the break. But, I mean, great shots from both of those towers in the center on the break. It's going to be interesting to see what people decide to shoot.
Well, Brandon Morales is in the 50 snake right now for Thunder. Thunder in great field position. They have the 50-yard line. Oh, but looks like Morales getting shot out of that 50-yard line. And his back player, though, is going to glide in right behind him. He's in snake 1. Still better field position for Thunder. Oh, but looks like Rich Telford takes the walk as well. And I think they're going to lose another body as Jared Amato gets shot as well. So just one player left alive for XSV, and he's in the back corner bunker on the D side. Not looking good for XSV, Todd, here in this first point.
Now here comes Thunder as Scott Knight comes storming down the snake side. Jumps onto XSV's side of the field as Riley Sullivan tries to battle hard out of that Dorito side corner. Unable to get anything done. Corey Field gonna go grab that flag. There's Scott Knight, number 8. Scott Knight, I think he's the one that kind of broke this game open. Broke that 5-5 stalemate. He was in that snake side can and kind of edged out over that A and put a shot in on the goggles of Junior Brown, who had his gun fixed on the snake side temple on Morales before he made his move up here into the 50. So,
well, Todd, looks like Scotty Knight, Mitchell Jordan combining for all 5 kills in this first point for Seattle Thunder. So first point will go to Thunder in a little bit of a long point. We're going to be right back after this. Looking in the pits of Sacramento XSV, there is Junior Brown. You know, Junior Brown, actually from England, came over, moved to California to help Rich Telford guide the ship for Sacramento XSV when the original core of the team decided to take their talents other places. So Junior Brown, a big reason XSV's still around, now working for JT and Key. They're looking at the game matchup here, very close. Got to give a little bit of the edge in the defending, though, just because we've seen Corey Field pull off so many of those low body situations, Todd, over the years. Really made his name off of that. And, you know, attacking very similar. Both, you know, a little low there just because a lot of inexperience. Also XSV taking some hits, Todd, to the roster.
Yeah, I mean, XSV this year finally went and got, you know, a handful of new players instead of just, you know, onesie, twosies, guys that might come, might go. You know, finally getting some solid players now that they can develop. Bringing some old players back like Jesse Lapid, you know, who is solid for them for a few years, who is on the field right now. But suffered a couple injuries. Carlos Torres hurt his shoulder, unable to make this event, who was here last event. And Jaime Lopez not making the trip out here. So both those players, you know, young front snake guys from last event, not here now for XSV, but, you know, they got picked up Ryan Pruitt. Jerry D'Amato has been a solid player for them now for a couple years.
Yeah, Jerry D'Amato is definitely a talent. He's just one of those guys, I'm just waiting for him to break out of his shell, though, you know?
Yeah. Everybody thinks that he's got a lot of talent. You know, everybody that you talk to about Jerry D'Amato, you know, really believe in what he's capable of, but, you know, it's really up to him to really step up and show it.
Yeah, he's got a great style. Seen some really awesome points out of him. It's just a consistency issue. You know, Jesse Lapid for XSV he's in the snake side right now. Jesse Lapid had a huge World Cup. Remember Jesse Lapid's performance at World Cup? XSV came so close to making it into the Champions Division, the closest they've ever come, but just had some penalties at the end. It just stole the wind from their sails, and they weren't able to do it. So Thunder up 1 now against XSV. Jesse Lapid, we were just talking about him, makes his move into the snake, crawling into snake 1. There's Lapid on your screen. Again, Lapid had a really great World Cup and is trying to clock in here and get some work done in the snake for XSV to try to tie this game up. Thunder, good cross-field spread for them. Oh, and a Jesse Lapid, we just commentator cursed him. And first major penalty of the event goes to Lapid. Looks like he had a hit on his leg. You can see, I think, you see that hit on his leg?
I did not.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, you can see he's looking at that hit on his leg. Might have hit his swab, you know.
Yeah, there's Scott Knight on your screen right there now. He's going to have a lot of room to work with on the snake side. Let's see if he recognizes it. He's looking to go, but he knows that there's a stream of paint coming in. Right now it's from that Dorito 1 across the field, trying to keep him out of there. Thunder taking advantage of it on the Dorito side, though, now is just Junior Brown from that Dorito side temple is trying to lock off the Dorito side of the field. Really tough with that line of 3 pins that go just off to the side of the A.
Todd, really smart move by Scott Knight right there. He edged out, and as soon as he realized that he could get across, scurried across that lane, and that is the type of play that it's going to take to be able to move up on this snake side of the field. The D side is a stronger side here. It's easier, stronger side because it's just easier to tear up and move down the field. Scotty Knight, though, making a nice job. Not looking at a lot of guns, but still had somebody looking at that lane. So now Scott Knight looking at trying to get a shot on these 2 players left alive on your screen, Junior Brown and Ryan Pruitt, but this point going, I was going to say, if XSV, Todd, could just hunker down in their bunkers for a little bit here as Pruitt and Brown, if they could have just crossed it up, stayed alive a little bit longer, only looking at 3 bodies, they could have sucked a little bit more time off that major penalty, maybe got that body back to even it up at 3 bodies each, but not able to do it. They do get shot out of their bunkers. Ooh, and it looks like Junior got a minor as well.
I think they threw another red. There might be 2 majors on the board.
Penalties continue to haunt XSV.
And there was nobody left to pull. Yeah, Junior Brown. Let's check down with Lauren Kelly right now, see if she's got any news on this for us.
I am down here with Chris Kim in the XSV pit. Now, before that point, it was pretty frantic here in the pits. Guys were running onto the field with less than 20 seconds. What was going on?
Well, we anticipated the weather being colder when we came here. It was about, what, 45, 50 degrees when we walked in here. So we got colder paint made for the cold weather, and all of a sudden the sun came out and the degrees just went up 30. It skyrocketed hot. We're doing what we can. I mean, the paint's shooting great. I mean, it's just more or less it kind of blindsided us with the weather, but we're making it work, and we're going to win this match, so we're good. We're going to keep on pushing.
All right, well, considering if your guns don't go down during a point, are you guys going to be trying to get out wide, or are you staying more on the inside of the bunkers to be more effective on the field?
We're trying to get out wide. This field is a very slow play field. The key word about this field is contain. Contain, contain, contain. This field is old school paintball, in my opinion, and it's slow pushes. I mean, if you're watching the webcast, obviously it's very slow bunker pushes. No one's thinking rush push on the snake and 50. No one's going that way. So it's just patience, and I think, you know, if we play the way we've been practicing, we should be able to pull this game off.
All right, they are down 2 points, 0-2. We'll see if they can get some points on the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's a good breakdown by Cheech, Chris Kim, and love that guy, man. He's a great guy. This game brought to you by Planet Eclipse, man. Help us help the sport, support the sponsors. And, you know, excessive, unfortunately for them, Stephen Brown, Junior Brown, getting a major penalty there to close at that point.
Yeah, right there at the end, nobody left to pull as Pruitt had got shot first. So the point ends right when that major happens. And now 2 bodies going to be in the box, a full 2 minutes on Junior Brown's major, and 33 seconds left to go on Jesse Lapid's major. So,
well, it's just so frustrating if you're an excessive fan. And as this is the exact opposite of what they wanted to happen here. 2 major penalties they have to fight through. Only 32 seconds on that one. So they should be able to get that body out here. And but it's just so tough to start with 3 bodies. You really got to hope you can swing that gun around, at least get one. You know, you're down 40% of your firepower in that situation. It's really tough. And then, you know, at least though for the penalties this particular tournament, I think we should see teams be able to ground penalties down a little bit more than they used to.
Yeah, you know,
at the last event.
And if they'd have just hunkered down there that last point, they maybe been able to get Jesse Lapid's major off the board, but, you know, tried to make a couple bumps out. Didn't work out for him. Jerry D'Amato's actually serving Jesse Lapid's penalty. So, you know, it looks like we got Rich Telford coming on the field, Johnny Greer.
Now we're looking at Thunder.
Heath Hooper.
Yeah, I think Heath was a good pickup. You know, Heath coming out the Aftermath camp, that's a really hard camp to come up in. So you're going to get mentally tough individuals. You know, that was one of those camps that could make or break you. We've seen a lot of awesome players come out of that camp. It's a now defunct legendary team from Southern California. So here we go, 10 seconds to go before the start of point number 3. Thunder up 2-0 against Excessive. And Thunder with 5 bodies, Excessive just 3 here to start this point. Let's see if Scotty Knight, Corey Field, and the rest of the crew from Thunder can put another point on the board. Off the break, was Excessive able to get anyone? No, and here comes Thunder's push up the center.
Yeah, Thunder now right there. Looks like Jordan makes it up to that A structure and right up to the Dorito side as Heath gets shot right away. Rich Telford trying to fend off attackers coming down the snake side. And, ooh, is he able to get one? Oh. No, does not.
You know, then Rich.
If he has a hit on him. And coming out of the box, Jerry D'Amato gets blown to bits, but gets one. But that's not going to be enough. So Excessive able to burn about 46 seconds off that second major and get 1 body out of the box. So at least they'll be playing 4-on-5 here to start the next point. But Seattle Thunder running up another one.
So Thunder looking real solid so far here. 3-0 is going to be the score. Excessive penalties hurting them real bad. 1:14 to go on their second major, but they did get 1 body out of the box, Todd, like you said. We're going to be right back after these messages. Stick around. So the Mid-Atlantic Open is going down, man. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. And Sacramento XSV taking on Thunder. Man, next up, the Champions Division begins. Got just nothing but hard-hitting games all day long. And let's check out, again, this matchup here. You're looking on paper, these two teams are evenly matched, pretty close. You got to give the edge to Thunder right now, as XSV losing some of their attackers. But on this field layout, I really feel that they, even though it looks like they're, they're not doing well right now, but if they could just stop getting penalties and really start focusing in on those off-the-break shots. They have some great off-the-break shooters. I mean, talk about, Rich Telford, Riley Sullivan's a great talent, and he's be playing on that D side. D side's real strong, but Thunder's looking good right now.
Yeah, Seattle Thunder, what they're known for is shooting people on the break. When they're playing well, they do a good job of shooting people on the break and then play a smart, consistent game. So, there's Mikey Lou right there on your screen. He's suited up. He can play. He's a longtime veteran pro. He knows how to play the game of paintball. But, he's also doing the coaching duties on the side. So, between he and Corey Field, they really orchestrate what Seattle Thunder does on the field.
Well, I just love to see, the legacy. The Pacific Northwest has had some awesome teams over the years, starting with teams like Washington Reign way back in the day. And, that was one of those places that you had some charismatic, really creative players emerge. Phantom Force was another big team out of there. And then the Naughty Dogs came up. And the Naughty Dogs were a top team for a long time. And the guys that you're seeing out here, like Mikey Lou, like Corey Field, that's basically the continued legacy of these big teams from the Pacific Northwest. The reason why I felt that area cultivated such interesting, charismatic players and creative players was the fields. Before we had airball, the fields up there, we always used to love to go to Portland, love to go to Washington and play, because those fields were like dream world fields, like video game fields out there in the woods. And because they had so much to work with, it really bred these awesome creative players. John Richardson, one of the best in the game, came out of the Pacific Northwest. He's an instant Hall of Famer as soon as we get around to having a Hall of Fame. And so it's great to see Thunder coming out here and performing as well as they're doing right now.
Yeah, just those thick woods, those big trees.
So awesome.
All the crawling, all the different things you could do. That's where you really understand how to read a paintball field. Put everything in front of you, really cut down angles and, move sneaky through the woods.
Well, the three-dimensional nature of a woods ball field really adds to your ability to put those, we always talk about putting variables together. What's in front of you, what's going on, and when, and that's what I'm saying. So if you're out there and you're listening and you don't play woods ball, get out there and play. Not only is it super fun, but it will add to your speedball game. It will add to your ability to play the Race 2 format.
It definitely will. Jesse Lapid takes a bouncer on the break. Referee checking in, see if it broke or not. Nope, he is still alive. Ryan Pruitt in the box for another minute for XSV. XSV able to get their 4 bodies out alive this time, though, and they even it up. They get Scott Knight. Oh, they get 2 kills right away. So now XSV with the body advantage. 4 on 3 right now. Seattle Thunder has 2 bodies in that Dorito side temple. Both of them are shooting out both sides. The Dorito one also hot for Thunder.
And it was that move up the center, Todd. That was a big move by Jerry D'Amato. And this is 2 games in a row now. We've starting to see the center play out. And players, you can definitely make it up there. A lot of those guns, going wide. So continue to look for that all event long. Who is going to be able to utilize that center to their advantage? Jared Amato making it work right now. A 1 kill for him. He got Knight. Junior Brown clocked in to get Morales. So Junior Brown making up for that major penalty here. Now 4 players for XSV, trying to play this one smart, though, but they're putting really good field pressure. Awesome pressure by XSV there in that point to finally get one on the board and keep it close here. Got ourselves a 2-point game.
Yeah, so it looks like Thunder lost that body out of the Dorito side and then decided to blow the horn with 6 seconds on the penalty in order to be able to have an extra gun up on the break. So smart call right there by Thunder with just the 2 bodies left in that 1 tower and the body about to come out and be a 5 on 2. So smart move right there by Thunder.
Yeah, that was a smart move. Because even though there's only 6 seconds left on that major penalty, that's a huge 6 seconds. That's 6 seconds you don't have a gun shooting at you, and then you might be able to get quickly in position to get him coming out of the box. So got ourselves that 2-point game here. 3-1 is the score. 11 minutes, 49 seconds remain as Thunder is up over Sacramento XSV. We're going to be right back after this. So Excessive backs against the wall here, though they do. Todd, do you see? Okay, they were finally, the point is put on the board. For a second, I was like, I didn't know if they got that point, and that would have been huge for Thunder if Excessive wasn't able to put that one on the board and finally get out of that shutout position they've been in so far here, as you know, Excessive really. This is a tournament. It would be a breakout tournament for them, Todd. They've struggled now for a while, and though they are down some attackers, this is the field layout. If you're going to miss some guys, and it's going to be on a field layout, this is the field layout for it to be on. Looks like Lapid gets shot, and then Jerry D'Amato making his way out and is able to get in. And that one bunker is going to eventually become a mud pit. You know, this field, it's the grass, it was very pristine, but, you know, the whole country essentially got hammered. Well, the southern part of the country and the East Coast got hammered by some rain. Maryland also took a bunch of rain. So, you know, though the grass is very nice, no one's touched this field in a long time. They haven't let anybody play on this until we got here. As time goes on, that bunker right there you're looking at will eventually become a bog.
Yeah, I mean, the whole field is really, really nice, except for that one corner over there. There's just a little bit of water that didn't drain out over there. But
well, it's because we got hammered again last night, too.
Yeah. So, you know, it is really nice down there. You can see the grass. It's just plush, nice green grass. But, you know, here we have Jerry D'Amato right there now sitting in that tiny little puddle as Ryan Pruitt gets shot off the Dorito side. Junior Brown right next to him trying to get something going over here on the Snake side for Excessive. Excessive, you know, does have the advantage of being out wider than Thunder, but, you know, Thunder just sitting in that Dorito side tower, hammering Jerry D'Amato, not letting him go anywhere. Scott Knight doing the same thing for Thunder towards the Dorito side, shooting at Riley Sullivan over there in Dorito 2. Thunder now finally making a bump, getting up out of Dorito 1 on into Dorito 2. So 2 bodies down on each side. Thunder lost Foster and Lou. Ryan Pruitt, Jesse Lapid.
I like seeing this fight out of Excessive, though.
So both teams have a player in that Dorito side tower. Junior Brown shooting out towards the Dorito side.
Oh, Knight is in a tough spot right here. Look how tight Knight is playing this bunker. So if Jerry D'Amato can get out on the Snake side, but that tower is just zoned in him. So that tower right there just stood up. Now he's going to load his gun. But this is what D'Amato needs to be looking for that move, though. That's the thing, Todd. We talked about this before. We're going to be talking about it all weekend long. The players that will prevent. Oh, Jerry D'Amato loses a gunfight. Jerry D'Amato just got owned in a gunfight, and just as he got shot, so did Junior Brown, which is just going to leave Riley Sullivan out on an island by himself, and then Riley gets his eye dotted. And so nice work by Corey Field, Mitchell, Jordan clocking in 8 confirmed kills for Jordan, and Scott Knight too. So amazing work by Jordan. Really just doing it for Seattle Thunder right now. They are going to go up 4-1.
Yeah, you know, Jordan had 3 kills in that very first point. So, you know, come right here, clocking in, new guy on Thunder doing work.
Yeah, hey man, that's good to see. Diversifying the roster. So we're going to be back here with a quick commercial message.
Okay, guys, I am here in Thunder's pit with Mikey Liu. Mikey, what side of the field do you think is more effective to attack?
Effective to attack, I think the Doritos. It's just really hard to stop that guy. He can run through a lot of guns.
We're not seeing a lot of quick moves being made down the field. How difficult is it to push down the field to kind of get an advantage?
It's pretty difficult. You got these a lot of tall back bunkers. A lot of guys can shoot out of. Some big tall guys like Rich Telford. It's just kind of who dies first, and if you make that second move, you'll win that point.
All right, we'll see if Thunder can keep the lead.
So Thunder now taking the field. 4-1 is the score. 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go. And like Mikey Liu said, the D side, strong side. And going to see a little bit more quick movement over there. But that being said, Todd, as we've seen these points play out so far today, tell me we haven't seen some guys get in the snake and shoot a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, we definitely have. I mean, that's where Colombo got that 5-pack from, as Johnny Greer takes one right across the front of his lens, looking at the referee on the snake side. So Seattle Thunder gets all 5 bodies out alive, but Jesse Lappin and Johnny Greer both getting shot at the same time. And Rich Telford looked like he just got a major penalty, gets Riley Sullivan pulled. So just Junior Brown out there by himself right now, but that's not going to last very long, as Seattle Thunder only loses 1 body before the grenade explodes on Excessive side of the field.
You know, and Todd, we've seen this in the past. So, you know, I hope when Excessive goes back, watches the tape on this game, they start to see when they break. You know, and it's just unfortunate to see because, you know, instead of getting up, they start to get down, losing gunfights, penalty, and that's when they needed to start to flip the script here on Seattle Thunder. But Thunder too strong right now. 5 players alive for them. And full team effort here. Field 3 kills, Cremian 3, Scotty Knight 2. Nico Perry hasn't clocked him. We haven't seen him much out there. Brandon Morales 1, and then also Jordan not even out there for that point. He has 8 actually so far. So Seattle Thunder just started to put a clinic on Sacramento XSV, who's not helping themselves out here, getting some penalties. That's 3 major penalties they've had so far. And win it 48 seconds on that Telford penalty. We're going to be right back after this.
This isn't just a field. This is my home. This isn't just a team. This is my family. This isn't just a sport. This is a way of life. This isn't just a league. This is the MSXL.
8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Thunder dominant so far. Next up after this matchup, San Diego Dynasty and Art Chaos in a highly anticipated match, as Art Chaos finally coming into the PSP. They've been playing in Europe for the past couple years and done very well. And now finally uniting the best of the best pretty much ever, not only for Russian players, but in general. You're talking about the 4 heavy hitters on Art Chaos: Sergei Sonaiskov, Mishka Kiesnev, Konstantin Fedorov, and Alexander Bernikov. Alexander Bernikov was the 2012 Top Gun Award winner. The first year that we gave the Top Gun Award out, he earned it. And last year was won by Oliver Lang, who will be playing for San Diego Dynasty. And I just can't wait to see that matchup. A lot of stories going to be going down there. So here we go. Excessive still 1 minute and 30 seconds, and now a penalty going to be on Thunder. Thunder gets their first penalty of the event. That's going to take 2 players out for them. And now Excessive making their move up in the center, but Thunder's got a player up there as well.
Yeah, Jordan sitting over there on the Dorito side of the A, and I believe that's Jerry D'Amato who's sitting there on the other side of the snake side of the A for Excessive. And Johnny Greer finally realizes that Jordan's right there. He's going to tap him out in the back a couple times. Morales got a minor penalty for getting shot in the loader, continuing to play over here on the snake side. That really opened it up for Excessive, allowed Johnny Greer to come across. So Excessive, you know, even though they have a major on the board, Brandon Morales is minor, going to help them get a point here. Sacramento Excessive keeping their hopes alive in this game. That minor's going to come off for Thunder, but still 42 seconds left on the major for Excessive. But, you know, 7:24 left to go in this game, 5-2 ball game. We'll be right back after these messages. There's Rich Telford in the pits. God, Rich is such a scary man.
And there's Yosh around behind him smiling. Anytime Rich starts screaming, I just get flashbacks being in the pits with him for all those years. Very, very intense individual. But, you know, they got a shot, man. 7 minutes and 24 seconds. They've finished out, well, they still, what, 42 seconds left on that penalty?
Yep.
Yeah, 42 seconds left on that major penalty. So also, you know, follow us on all social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We'll be bringing you guys updates on Twitter as well, at paintballaxis.com. And also, you know, in between the events, got podcast breakdowns, letting you guys know what's going on behind the scenes with all these teams. And there's Rich Telfer right there, getting his boys up, ready to play this next point. Looks like Riley Sullivan. No, who's in the box for them? So 4 players alive right now to start this point for Excessive. And they're making moves on that D side immediately into D2. Able to get in there clean, much more conservative breakout on the flip side for Thunder. Thunder doubling up that back bunker. And there you see the crossfield spread for Sacramento Excessive on your screen right now. Furthest guy forward is their D2 player. And then now Thunder on your screen. You can see they're doubling up that stand-up tempo. You're going to see guys do that, but already in this event, we've seen that kind of backfire a little bit. It's kind of tough to live in there and get small enough to stay alive.
Yeah, it really depends on if you're shooting bodies on the break or not. You know, if guys are able to get wide, they can put the pinch on you. You know, get 2 guys out alive, they can double up on you. Junior Brown getting pinched out of there right now. He gets shot, but coming out of the box is Riley Sullivan now. So Excessive back at full strength. 4 bodies left alive on the field right now. 5-2, 6:28. They got to get something going if they're going to get back into this game. Up in Dorito 2 right now.
Yeah, long points are not Sacramento Excessive's friend at this particular juncture in the game with that 6:19 on the clock. Though penalty, finally get that body out.
And Thunder just dug in right now. All 5 bodies left alive. Corey Field stands up as Johnny Greer is able to sneak into the snake. There you see him standing on the outside of the first snake structure, trying to wrap and get some kills across the field. Look like he might be having some gun issues right now, just breaking tons of paint. Johnny Greer right there on your screen, number 2 for Excessive. Looking at Scott Knight and Corey Field across, trying to get some shots in on him and open up the field for his Dorito attacker.
But still, no bodies dropping yet for Thunder. They've done a good job of digging in here and controlling those lanes, but they have not stopped Excessive from getting into the snake. So they're in the snake right there. There's Johnny Greer on your screen, and Johnny Greer looking to break this cross. Now a move made by Thunder on the D side of the field, move made up the center. As number 19 for Sacramento Excessive, Riley Sullivan makes his move. Now you're looking at the crossfield spread. Look at this, Johnny Greer trying to make his move to the 50-yard line snake. He makes it in there clean. He's backed up by Jesse Lapid. Can Johnny Greer wrap around and start getting some kills? He's got to be careful here, though. Jesse Lapid right behind him. Jesse Lapid going to load his gun. He's got to get his gun up and protect Greer. Greer just living on the edge over here. Looks like Greer might have got a shot in on his pack. The referee in there checking him out, so Greer was taken out, though it looks like 2 bodies dropping. So nice move by Greer, even though he got shot. Here comes Jesse Lapid. He gets a crossfield shot. Nice move. Jesse Lapid trying to make it happen here. Quick point, hopefully, for Sacramento Excessive, so they can pull within 2. Jesse Lapid in the driver's seat. He has the ball.
Jesse Lapid gets another kill across the field, shooting out that Dorito 1. Just Corey Field left alive now in that Dorito side tower. Jesse Lapid going to edge his way down the field. Here comes Riley Sullivan through the middle, looking to end this. 4 minutes left to go on the clock as Riley Sullivan comes around. And Jesse Lapid kind of sleeping on that flag. Jesse down points, going to want to run that in as he finally goes, gets on his horse and takes it in there. So,
hey, nice work by Jesse Lapid, though. Those mid players, those 2s, you know, we call the front players the 1s, the mid players the 2s, and the back players the 3s. Those 2s are so important on this field. And what we're going to see on this layout is that the 3-act structure is definitely in play here, Todd. You're going to see a breakout. That's Act 1. Can you live off the break? What bunkers can you get to? Then once it's settled a little bit, then you see there's Rich Telford looking like a pirate over there. But so the 3-act structure of the game, you're going to see that, like I'm saying out here. First part of the game. Who's going to make it out? Can they make it out alive? What bunkers are they going to get to? And then who's going to be making the moves? And then and who's going to die out of their bunkers? We've already seen this gunfight heavy field way in. Lots of guys getting shot out of their bunkers, lots of guys winning gunfights, some guys stepping up, some guys getting owned. And then who's going to step up like Jesse right there and Johnny Greer? Yeah, Johnny Greer got shot, but off that chaos, 2 bodies walk off for Thunder. That allows Lapid to come in there, take advantage of that hole that Greer blew open for him.
Yeah, and then, got to close that game out. That third, that's where we talk about the clutch players.
Yep.
Those were those guys. That's the guys you pick on your fantasy team that are coming in and winning games at the end there. The guys that we always talk about, Jason Edwards, the Archie Montemayor's. Those are the dudes that come in that third act and really put the wins up on the board for your team. So, right now we got 4 minutes left to go. This is a 2-point game. Enough time for Excessive to climb back in it. Definitely able to put 2 points on the board and tie this thing up. But, Seattle Thunder, they're just 2 points away from ending this game as well. So
and definitely possible. We're seeing, I'd say, about on average, what, Todd, 230 for the points on this field so far?
Yeah, been a little bit longer. We were watching points in Dallas, just 30-second points game after game after game.
But that's the cool thing about this sport is you have to be able to adjust to what's in front of you and what type of layout is presented for you to play. And every single tournament, you have a new layout. Little bit of difference in some of them, sometimes drastic variance in where the field, where the important positions are. And you have to spend that time training before the event to try to figure out what plays are working and what's not. There's sort of a general consensus. Looks like a timeout has been called. It's a good timeout. There's sort of a general consensus heading into every event. Oh, okay, well, is the snake side dominate? Is it going to be the D side? Can you head up to center? Are there any special plays you might be able to run some stunts, some delays? And then, okay, what are the best off-the-break shots? Can you head out to an open spot, kneel down, get a drop on somebody, and then get out to your bunker? And then once you get to the field, then the real thing happens. The real game starts to progress. And then as the teams start scouting each other and figuring out what works and what doesn't, watching tape and figuring out what their opposing teams are going to do, then things will really start to develop, and we see how the field's really going to play. Right now, definitely gunfight heavy. And but we're seeing some moves out there. The snake side's definitely in play. We just saw Greer do it right there. We saw it in the first game as well. Same thing going on there. As Moscow Red Legion was able to, Chambon was, Chambon, was it Chambon that got the 5-pack? Colombo got the 5-pack. First one of the tournament. So let's check in with Lauren here before we start this next point.
I am on the sidelines now with Ryan Pruitt. Ryan, you guys are down 2 points, but you have 4 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. During that timeout, what did you discuss in order to make sure you get some points on the board?
So what Richard and us are talking about is we have to contain the outside guys and not let them get outside of us, and we need to push in the middle, and we need to chop out one side of the field. We need to start knocking out 1-minute points right now.
How hard is it to lock down the field off of the break to make sure that you're winning these gun battles?
If we can shoot the widest guy and just get to that X, the X is a big part of our game plans right now. The X chops it side down completely, so once we do that, we can win.
All right, Excessive is down 2 points against Thunder, 3-5. We'll see if they can get some points.
So about 10 seconds to go before the start of this next one. Both teams 5 strong. And let's hope to God that these guys can play clean right here. Penalties, you really don't want to see penalties when you're in this spot. Here we go. So good breakout for Sacramento Excessive. They got some guys out wide, though, and they weren't shooting their guns heading out, so no bodies dropped for Thunder. Thunder also not able to get any shots on Excessive. So it's a 5-on-5 game, and time is starting to tick off the clock. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go. There's Excessive on your screen. Let's see if they can get out. You can see by his body language he wants to get out. Look at the body language from the player right in front of you there. Dead center of your screen. Both Jesse Lapid, and I think that is Johnny Greer again. No, yeah. Heath Hoper. That's Heath. I think it's Heath. But anyway, player over here on the snake side of the field definitely tries to get out. First kill goes to Sacramento Excessive. Thunder down 1 right now. The 4 bodies they have left alive, locked into their gunfights, trying to keep Sacramento Excessive from pushing forward.
Yeah, Scott Knight kind of forced that move right there, try and come up into that wedge on the snake side. Didn't really need to make that move, up bodies right now with this time on the clock. But Excessive, Pruitt said that they needed to attack the middle. Now's the time. Junior Brown or Jesse Lapid, have the opportunity to launch. Johnny Greer getting just pounded there in that snake side temple. Morales, you see him looking across to the Dorito side. He's got 2 bodies, that's Dorito side temple and the Dorito side can. both Pound and Johnny Greer. So Morales is looking across the inside, and there goes, oh, Johnny Greer stumbles coming out. He gets shot in the gun.
I think
like he got shot in the gun.
No, I think he made it in clean. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But either way, he's in the snake right now. And Morales says he's got Jesse Lappin's gun come off him. He dives into snake 1 as well. And now Morales looking up off the field. So Excessive does charge up to that A off of Greer's move. So Junior Brown now in that Dorito side of the A.
Well, hey, Excessive's done it right so far. 5 bodies alive. They have good field position. They have snake 1. They have that 50-yard line up in the center of the field with Junior Brown trying to cut down that D side. But can they push forward into the guns? And here comes a big move. Oh, a nice move by Thunder. And a major penalty. Trying to see who that major penalty on. Was that on? It looks like that was on Junior Brown. Junior Brown's second major penalty of this game so far. As the move was made by Thunder, there was a minor penalty, though, on Thunder as well. So that makes things a little bit chaotic as the bodies drop all over the place. And it looks like there's 2 on 1 right now. And here comes Excessive. Excessive going to pull within 1, but they are only going to have probably about a minute and 9 or 8 seconds left as Rich Telford digging that flag in. So both of these teams drawing penalties in that point. The minor penalty will come off the board. And so Thunder will start with 5 strong. That's going to make it really hard on Sacramento Excessive, only down 1 right now. It was Jordan, the confirmed kill leader. Let's check out this replay here from this last point.
So here we have Thunder going to charge up from that center can, dive underneath the A, shoot Junior Brown in the back. Junior's going to spin and shoot the Thunder player. That is an easy call for the referees. Major penalty, and that is going to get Johnny Greer pulled. So here's from Johnny Greer's angle. Didn't pick him up soon enough as he comes underneath, shoots Junior Brown in the back.
He got Junior, and he got Junior to spin, but he paid the toll right there.
Yeah, Johnny Greer picked him up just as he crossed, picked him up as he slid underneath the A and, made him wear it in the back, but not before Junior Brown spun around, got a penalty. But at the same time, Seattle Thunder got a minor penalty over on the Dorito side, which is what opened it up for Heath Hooper coming down the side of that Dorito side.
So do not miss out here. Chicago Open is for sure going to sell out. Chicago Open's always the second biggest event of the year after the World Cup, and with each of these events so far this year selling out. 181 teams here for the second event on the PSP Tour. And it's at one of the best fields in the world, man. CPX Sports, the guys that run that field, man, they do an amazing job. If you're in that area and you haven't played at CPX, you got to get out there and play. It's in Joliet, a little outside of Chicago. Go to pspevents.com and sign up. Also, Living Legends is coming up for CPX Sports. That's one of the most popular big games in the world. An amazing paintball experience. If you haven't played a big game, you're missing out. Like, that is, I'm not trying to hype that just for fun. No, it's an amazing experience, and no better place to start doing it than at Living Legends. So there's a Thunder team smiling a little bit. They haven't won this one yet, though. They're down, or they're up 1 here, but they should be pumped. They've played very well so far, but this has been a close game, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, Excessive, it took them a couple minutes to get that last point, and, going to be playing with a major here, but, not giving up, fighting back. This is a 1-point game right now. After Excessive able to score those last couple. But, do they have it in them to score 1 more point with 1:08 left here, down 1 body on the break? We know Seattle Thunder is good at shooting on the break and crossing it up. So, Scott Knight kind of gave away his body early over there. I don't expect him to do the same thing this time. And Excessive not able to get any kills on the break, but Riley Sullivan does get up into the A right away. Oh, and Mikey Liu getting shot on the inside, but Jesse Lappin also getting shot for Excessive. So Riley Sullivan, Junior Brown coming out here to the snake side now. Looks like Heath tries to make a move into Dorito 1.
I thought I saw Heath take some paint off of his loader, or I'm sorry, off his pack, but guess not. He's alive. Body starting to drop for Thunder.
Oh, there goes Jordan off the Dorito side for Thunder.
And here comes Junior Brown. And here comes Riley Sullivan. Riley Sullivan breaks the 50, but he gets eaten up trying to get across. So that is not going to help Excessive here. It's just Junior Brown. He gets taken out. So though it looked like Excessive might have had a chance, here comes Scotty Knight.
And Thunder going to want to go grab that flag and hang it to help their point differential. You never know when that could come into play. Corey Field recognizing it, and he's going to run that flag in and hang it with just 1 second left on the clock. So Seattle Thunder going to take a 6-4 victory here over Sacramento XSV in our second Challenger Division game of the morning. But now it is time for the throwdown in the Champions League.
Oh my God, I can't wait. San Diego Dynasty is going to be taking on Art Chaos. Oh, we've been waiting to see this game forever. Art Chaos finally getting into the PSP, stepping up to play with the best teams in the world. The whole reason that team exists is to try to win championships. They picked up some of the best in the business to try to do it, but their first test in the Champions Division is against the team that won this event last year, the team that won the overall title last year, the team that has the Top Gun winner from last year, Oliver Lang, and the most legendary team ever to play the game, San Diego Dynasty. That's coming up next. Again, this game was brought to you by Planet Eclipse. Thank you guys for tuning in, and keep spreading the paintball gospel. Let everyone know that the best players in the world are playing here in the 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. Man, I can't wait for this Champions Division to start. We got great games coming at you here in the morning, and then right after Dynasty Art Chaos, Chicago Aftershock, and the team that won the last event, Los Angeles Infamous. Infamous was here last night doing drills until it was dark. They literally had to be kicked off the field.
Hey, determination. You know, the determination to come out here and repeat. It's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay on top. So Los Angeles Infamous trying to prove once again that they belong in the top of the Champions Division. So, we'll see if that pays off for them here in this very difficult morning bracket.
So morning bracket is about to go down in the Champions Division, so stick around. We will be right back after this.
Hey guys, I am down here on the field with Corey Field. You guys just beat XSV 6-4. Congratulations. Now, XSV was favored to win this one. They played really well in Dallas. Do you feel like this field layout plays stronger for you guys than it did for them?
I think it's the same with me and Rich because we're both really good laners. But I think my younger guys are just more fearless, I guess, because they just actually I should say they're too dumb to think. They just go. And with Mikey Lou as our coach, helps me just focus on the game. So I think, yeah, I did, and we did a lot of practicing before this event. So I think the laning helped us a lot.
Coming into this, were you looking out for specific players like Rich and Riley to make sure you tried to shoot them off the break and make it a little easier for you?
I think every one of those XSV players are very talented, so we aren't really focusing. We were focusing on the snake side a lot, just shutting that down. That was totally my job, is to shut that down, and hopefully our D side does everything. So we were focused on the snake side, just not one individual player.
This is a much different layout than we saw in Dallas. What did you guys focus on in practice preparing for this to make sure you could come out and win all those tournaments?
We prepared for a lot of 3-on-3 or 3-on-5 paintball because there are pretty good lanes. So we did a lot of 1-on-3s. I was the one. We had a lot of 3s. We did a lot of 3-on-5s. We did basically a lot of individual paintball to get my guys, because I have a lot of new guys ready for this event.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Coming up next, we have Dynasty versus Art Chaos. It's the first time Art Chaos is in the champion bracket. Who do you think is going to win?
I think Art Chaos, those guys, I played them last event, and wow. That's all I have to say is wow.
All right. Well, it's going to be an incredible match, so stay tuned.